If there's any silver lining, and there really isn't, to the tragedy in Los Angeles with the fires, it's that Gavin Newsom's political career is over. You can look at his face, he knows it's over. President Trump was absolutely right. He could have taken action to get water down from Northern California, didn't do it. Listening to environmentalists, these crazy environmentalists, saying that it would harm the smelt, I guess, as a protected species. It certainly smells. I don't know about smelt. The water was not delivered to Los Angeles. There's no water to speak of to put out the fires. Criminal negligence. The governor should be tried and convicted, and we will be doing it in our citizens' grand juries and citizens' trials. He shows up, he cavorts around, he mocks Trump for telling the truth. He looks like he's seen a ghost because he knows his career is over. This is not just the French Laundry and having dinner during COVID-19, which was bad enough. This is serious. People have been killed. Everybody's lost their lives, livelihoods. You have neighborhoods and portions of LA that look like Dresden during World War II or Hiroshima. It is an unbelievable catastrophe, and it's on the shoulders of Gavin Newsom and the idiot mayor, Karen Bass. Meanwhile, she was in Africa, cavorting around, going to some kind of inauguration in Ghana or God knows where else, and didn't even come back in time for her own people in Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. Meanwhile, today there's the funeral of Jimmy Carter, one of the worst presidents ever. The guy's gotten about five funerals at this point. I think it's enough. I think basically he should have had a funeral and they should have buried him and we should have forgotten about him, frankly, because the guy was not only an anti-Semite and hated Israel and really screwed up the Middle East by allowing the Ayatollahs to take over Iran, giving rise to the problems that we have today, but he was also someone who ruined the economy, much like Joe Biden. Enough is enough. But I was watching the funeral at the National Cathedral, sitting there. There was some humor to it in a way. Trump was sitting next to Obama. They both hate each other, but they were talking because as much as they hate each other, they hate actually Joe Biden and Jill Biden even more. George Bush is sitting there in his own world. Basically, he didn't give a you know what about anything. And you've got Hillary, who's real happy. She got herself a new do. And all of a sudden, she's pulled out of the woodwork, got her Medal of Freedom. I guess she was probably wearing it under her skirt. Maybe she has a new girlfriend. Maybe that's why she looks primped up. And Bill, he's there as well. But the most despicable scene was watching Kamala Harris in the first row, along with her nanny impregnating husband, Emhoff. What a loser that guy is. And they're smiling. They're having a great time. Well, ask yourself, as Los Angeles is burning, and Kamala Harris is still one of the senators from California, why isn't she back in California? Why is she worried about some guy who's already dead and there's nothing we can do about it? You know, we don't want to be disrespectful, but frankly, enough is enough. Five funerals is enough. You should be back with your people in LA. So, you know, this is the state of the nation. These people forward around. They're very happy to scratch each other's backs. They're part of this elite club. Kamala Harris was never president. The fact that all the living presidents were there is one thing, but she frankly is insignificant beyond belief. And her people back in LA, in fact, she lives in Brentwood, are suffering as she's cavorting around, you know, happy that she's part of the crowd at Jimmy Carter's funeral at the National Cathedral. Well, that's my message for today. This is what we have. We don't have a government really that governs. We have a government that's corrupt. Currently, the Biden regime, Kamala Harris, our Justice Department, if you want to call it that, you name it. The local and state authorities in California that allowed for this tragedy through their incompetence and negligence, siphoning money away for homeless people in mass. There's nothing wrong with trying to help them, but not the amount of money that was devoted to that, or illegal immigrants, and not having sufficient resource to protect the people of Los Angeles, one of our great American cities. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast, but this is why you need to support Freedom Watch. We don't kiss the behind of these people. We don't bow down. We're not impressed with them. We will hold them accountable under the law for what they've done. And Gavin Newsom not only should be recalled as governor, but he should be indicted tried, convicted for negligent homicide for the deaths of not 5 people and counting in Los Angeles County, and also the massive destruction. There has to be accountability. And that's one of the reasons why we want to remove immunity from public officials, from judges, from others who claim immunity, that they're above the law. No one in this country is above the law, not even a president of the United States. Frankly, President Trump never needed immunity because he never did anything wrong. But the fact is that they hide behind this veil and they do what they want. They spend their time lying, cheating, stealing, and don't represent the American people. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. We are unafraid. We, Larry Klayman and Freedom Watch, will do what it takes to hold these people accountable. And now we've seen a massive tragedy. We were always worried about a major earthquake in Los Angeles. Now we got something that was even worse than that, rivaling the earthquake in San Francisco, the first part of the 20th century, rivaling other tragedies in this country and around the world. And who's responsible? Gavin Newsom and company. The guy is a despicable hack. He's a clown, and he must be dealt with swiftly and quickly and removed as governor of California and relegated to the ash heap of political history where he belongs. God bless you. God bless America. God save America. And don't forget Kamala Harris. She's in the same league. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.